Real quickly before I jump into the video, we'll be live over on Twitch this evening. Would love to see you out there. Links in the description below if you're interested. Today was the final update for Modern Warfare's first season, and along with it came the usual suspects and, well, some actual teasers of what's still to come with Season 2. This may be what you were expecting, but also may not be. So today, I want to break down everything that really changed with this update and keep you filled in entirely. So with that said, let me know your thoughts below as we go along. What do you think of the new teaser for Season 2, and what do you think it points towards? And if you are new to the channel, maybe considering that subscribe button, especially if you're a part of that nearly 70% of users who are not subscribed to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare. And definitely now, as we round into Season 2, we'll keep you up to date with all the best of it as we come to the turn of the season. That said, let's jump right into the changes and what you can expect here after that. So firstly, let's start out with the changes. Again, our usual suspects here with this. We got some playlist updates and some shop updates. For the playlist updates, what went away as of today was Gunfight Custom and Deathmatch Domination. We've talked about those a lot in the last week here, but what came in and what was replacing those was Shipment 24/7, Shoot House 24/7, and Gunfight Grind, or what they dubbed as Face-Off Grind. Plus, we also ended up getting in the quick play selection a new 10v10 mosh pit for both core and hardcore, which is kill confirmed on headquarters. Now, the grind variation is, I think, the only one that really needs truly explaining, if you ask me. This is, of course, that mode that we just had recently of grind, where you had the tags to pick up, and then you had the banks that you could deposit them in. It's a combination of this plus Gunfight's properties of having a 2v2 player count. Now, it's also something that continues that Gunfight custom, in which you have custom classes, and it's not something where everybody's on an equal playing field of different loadouts. There are respawns, so it's more so just a smaller variation of grind, which is cool in a sense, but once you start to play it, you might not necessarily be too into it. I know that I was intrigued by this. I didn't know how much I was going to like it going in, but once I played it, once I saw the spawns, it wasn't fantastic. You will literally spawn on people on top of them, on top of where you just died. It's a little messy if you ask me, but it is something that, of course, is still a cool variation here of what we know of, though it doesn't, again, keep really any of the properties of Gunfight other than the 2v2 player count. So do with that what you will. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be coming back to it all that much because of what we all have going on throughout the week. We'll talk about in these other playlists, and also the double events that are going on for XP, weapon XP, and then seemingly double tier progression later on in the week as well. So I don't know if I'm really going to spend too much time in here with this one, but it is something that was added in and you may like for yourself, so check it out. Outside of that, well, the 24/7 community can rejoice because for the first time, we no longer have to choose between wanting either Shipment 24/7 or Shoot House 24/7, which I think is great because from a viewpoint that's often on the sidelines, primarily playing ground war up until as of recently, I swear that every time that one of these was introduced, there was a chunk of the community asking for the other, as if, say, theoretically, Shipment 24/7 got added in. People who were like, dude, we never asked for this, give us Shoot House back, and vice versa. And then when Shoot the Ship came around, that 50% chance, while it was still something that put both these maps into the rotation, I saw some similar sentiment where people are like, why can't we just have what we want? So for both player bases to have what they want, I'm all for this. Yes, yes, and yes. Admittedly, I know that they want to keep that 8-tile quick menu going, so that right now Shipment, whereas it would have been replaced this week, takes up that LTM slot, like how Deathmatch Domination is one, but I also don't understand why they just can't add a 9th tile to have it as a consistent thing. I don't really think that would fragment the players all that much, especially because in regular rotations, we don't have a map voting system in regular quick plays. So I don't see any real harm in keeping them both there or adding a 9th tile to allow both to stay constant. But anyways, that's what we got from our fan favorites in a selectable LTM rotation this week, but both coming along with a double XP and a double weapon XP event starting tomorrow. So definitely get on the grind while you can, because both these maps are absolutely fantastic for that. I'm gonna be working my tail off trying to take advantage of it while I still can. The final adjustments made here for the playlist updates were, again, that 10v10 mosh pit, in which you can play it in core or hardcore. You can find that in your quick play selection. It's not anything that's on that main menu tabs, but it is kill confirmed and headquarters all put into one mosh pit for it, so you can play around with that one. It's available there, but may not necessarily be a highlight here of this update. But after that, though, that's where we jump over into the shop refresh here with what was added in for Modern Warfare today. We got 2 new featured items within the shop, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you, these ones actually are the first ones that I'm kind of interested in the featured category. I'm usually only the one that really goes for the blueprints and stuff like that, but the Pale Abyss was introduced. Then as well, we ended up seeing the Dead Man's Fortune, which actually is basically just a weapon blueprint bundle. The Pale Abyss isn't quite necessarily to the level that you'd expect to see with the other featured bundles within the shop. It doesn't have as many items. It has the Abyss Walker LMG, which is that of the SA-87. It has the 725 Dread Shotgun blueprint, the Pallid Oni charm, the Memento Mori sticker, and 2 tier skips for those of you guys that haven't completed your battle pass just yet. Now, I'm really into both of these skins, actually. I'm a huge fan of the whited out and matte black finishes on these, but at the same time, for 1,800 COD points, I don't know if I'll pull the trigger on this one just yet, but both the weapons I think are pretty cool with what they offer. But again, it really comes down to what you value it at. Then we end up seeing that Dead Man's Fortune is another addition here to the shop. That is actually only 800 COD points, which I think makes it the cheapest featured bundle that we've had introduced in Season 1 so far, but it comes along with the Golden Dragon AK-47 variant, the Misfortune Cookie, which fantastic pun and name there for the charm, and then the Waiting Marauder emblem. Now, truth be told, I'm actually a really big fan of the color scheme with this, where it's a gold AK mixed with a sort of vanilla finish on the wood where you'd normally see the AK. The attachments I'm probably going to strip almost entirely. I don't necessarily care about the bayonet, don't care about the underbarrel grenade launcher. The 75 round drum mag, maybe I keep that one. Maybe I keep the LMG stock, but the first two definitely would get rid of that one. But for 800 COD points, this one's really tempting. I'm a big fan of that camo selection. But anyways, that's the stuff added into the shop here at this. And the last thing that I want to talk about before we jump into some stuff that's still yet to come within the week is that of the new teaser for Season 2, because it's only 15 seconds long, but it's got some big implications. What you'll see in the background is that teaser where it is seemingly pulling up a dossier on who we see is Lieutenant Simon Riley, and then it simply says Ghost confirmed, and it pans to an image of him in the background. Now that's absolutely awesome. It again confirms our suspicions that what we saw previously within Modern Warfare so far has been, in fact, Ghost as a new operator. Now, this throws definitely a wrench in a lot of people's theories for who Ghost could be in terms of Modern Warfare. There was that big theory that Alex was going to be Ghost, but if it is Simon Riley, does that then negate that entire theory? So we'll see how that breaks everything down once we get some more intel on Ghost, but it seems like our very first teaser for Season 2 does in fact contain that of the brand new operator that we can expect to see coming along with this. Now, also interestingly, that's not the only teaser and little hint within this. You may have missed it, but if you take a look at whenever that dossier is pulled up, it pulls out 3 specific files, to which it pulls up a location and a hardware and a support piece with the Force Recon. The location is listed as Yankee 4 and brings up what looks like a drill site. And something that we've seen beforehand is rusts in the game files and actually completed. So it was seemingly just sitting there, and what's a drill site off in the desert that we've seen before? Well, rust, of course. Then we end up seeing that there is the hardware listing with an image that is a lot harder to tell what it is. Same with goes the operator, that probably just being Ghost though. But we end up seeing what is our first little teasers at a map, a weapon, and a new operator. So I'm all for that. I'm super excited here at this one, and I'm expecting a lot more to come out through the next week here to get us ready for Season 2. Now, that's all that we got as of today, but starting tomorrow, like we mentioned, there's also some stuff to look out for. You'll be able to take advantage of double XP and double weapon XP, and it's a long weekend in a sense, if you want to call it that, though admittedly, it's more so closer to a week of double XP, as we'll end up seeing this wrap up all the way on next Tuesday, just before the update is pushed out for Season 2, not at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time instead, which makes me wonder if we'll end up seeing that update roll out a little earlier than normal so that content has time for players to download it, and also will then be time gated for those for a rollout of 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that can have it installed and ready to go for, say, Xbox and PC at that 10 a.m. marker, so that as soon as it hits, you can play it. You don't have to wait for the download then at that point. But anyways, take advantage of that extended period of double action, and also, while we've only heard about it in some small snippets and it's not necessarily confirmed on the date, we did hear about an Infinity Ward's blog post that on Friday, as my guess, we should end up seeing some double tier progression. We also saw that there was a tweet that was deleted by all the Call of Duty accounts talking about how the weekend was going to include that of a double tier progression weekend, so we should be seeing that coming up as well later in the week on Friday. So definitely jump on if you haven't done so already this weekend, so you can take advantage of that, get up to whatever tier you want, at least tier 30 to get those weapons, and then maybe upwards of tier 100. After that, though, the other stuff that I would expect as of this week is simply more teasers. We saw it start with this teaser that we got today for Season 2, so expect that stuff to continue coming out throughout the entire week. I'm honestly kind of expecting one a day at least here at this one, because it did start so early. It started that 1 week out mark, as to what it could entail, your guess is as good as mine, but we're going to start ramping up, start to see some things here revealed for Season 2, and all coming out very quickly. So make sure that you stick around here for that. We'll break it down on the channel as we get more coming out, and also, of course, we'll keep you up to date with all of that. But that said, that's where we're going to wrap it up here with all of this. So let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular you guys really liked here out of this update? What do you think of the teaser more specifically? And of course, anything you may have in between any of that, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff we got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Probably live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But with that out of the way, thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.